Welcome back to Island Bike Life. Today's an exciting one. We're going to be taking a look at the all-new GoPro Hero 9 Black. For anybody who's new to the channel, thanks for checking me out. What you're going to find here, among other things, are point of view mountain bike videos. These are based out of my hometown here in Nanaimo, British Columbia, located on Vancouver Island in the Pacific Northwest. Because these types of mountain bike videos form a good part of my video release schedule, having a high quality action cam is essential. What this video is going to consist of is a general unboxing and first impression, as well as a more in-depth review and head-to-head on my current time-tested and robust setup of a gimbal and GoPro Hero 4. I'm going to be looking to replace this old system, hopefully with just the GoPro Hero 9 Black. There are some things I'm going to be taking into account. One, obviously, the watchability factor of the videos. Having the right angles is important, as well as it being smooth. Mountain bike rides are, by nature, very rough and rowdy. The other thing that I want to make sure I can cover off is quality audio. I can't stand videos where audio sounds very muffled. I find it hard to watch personally on my own time, and I don't want to put any of my viewers through that same frustration. So in order to replace what I already have and really enjoy, the Hero 9 is going to have to check off a whole lot of boxes. The unboxing and first impressions on the Hero 9 are really quite basic. There's not a lot to it. You have the camera, a charging cord, a battery, a few mounts, and what they claim to be a carrying case. For me, the carrying case is not one that I'm going to use. It's just too big to be lugging around, considering the camera itself is really quite compact and realistically is going to be attached to my helmet or my chest mount at any given time. With the camera out of the box, the setup was really quite easy and something that I've come to expect from GoPros. I definitely recommend using the GoPro app on your smartphone, whether it be Apple or Android. The app itself is going to make adjusting the settings much faster. You can do it on the fly. The setup, like I said, was very smooth. Once the camera was charged up and powered on, I simply looked for the camera on my phone. It found it right away and paired. If you're like me, you're probably going to have an early release update for the camera's firmware. Once that was done, I was up and running. There are some new features that I had to play around with and try to understand a little bit better, because my last generation camera, the 4, which is what I use primarily, is significantly different than this. I do have a Hero 7, which I use as a backup and third camera for third person or different camera angles. When I'm trying to do various review videos, it does come in handy. So there is a little bit of crossover there, which made that process more simple. Some of the best features for the Hero 9 that I'm most excited about is the Hyper Smooth 3.0. There is a boost mode on this, which, according to GoPro, and we'll put it to the test, makes it completely useless to have a gimbal because the video is reportedly to be that smooth. There's a high efficiency bit rate, which I'm going to be utilizing to ensure that I get the highest quality video. I'm probably going to continue to shoot in 4K, even though the new camera does go up to 5K. I don't know that I need to have that type of quality, as the bit rate does not scale to that resolution, and so increasing my file size doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. I'm going to be copying over all of my settings from my GoPro Hero 4, which I've tested over the last few years and have come to really enjoy. That way I'm going to have a very good baseline as to the comparison of the video quality itself and the audio as well. The camera itself comes with its own mounts. This is not new to the Hero 9, it was also in the Hero 8, which is something that I really like. There is a nice new full color front screen, which is a little bit lower resolution than the rear, but it does make it easier to confirm your front point of view if for whatever reason you're using the camera, say in a selfie mode, or you're setting it up trying to confirm the viewpoint. That is definitely going to come in handy for me down the line. There's a few other features that the Hero 9 Black offers that I probably won't use as much as maybe somebody else who's in the market for this camera, like the time warp, the super efficient slow motion ability, given that at certain resolutions you can go up to like 240 frames a second now. So for certain people in other markets, That's a feature that they might utilize, but I probably won't. The camera does 1080p live streaming, it has data overlays, and is really quite action-packed. The case itself is waterproof up to about 30 meters. The battery life, according to GoPro, is also significantly longer, about 40% more versus the Hero 7 and the Hero 8, which had roughly the same size battery. As for how it compares to my current setup, well, I've gone through a few different gimbals over the years, and the one that I've been running the longest with the most success is the Feotech WG2. That is connected to a Hero 4, as I stated before. As you can see, this is quite a large setup. It is quite heavy, about double the weight of just the Hero 9 itself, if not more than that. It requires me to have a chest strap or a chest rig. I use a Stuntman chest strap. It's pretty robust and I do like how it feels. It never goes loose. However, this setup is a little bit cumbersome. It took me a while to figure out the right angles and all of those sorts of things, and there are some downsides. I'm now monitoring not only my gimbal battery, which I can't change out in the Feotech, it is a sealed battery, as well as the batteries on the Hero 4. In order to change the batteries, which does happen incredibly often with that camera, just because of the nature of the batteries and the size of them, I have to almost take the whole system apart. I have to power down the gimbal, take the action cam out, change the battery, put it back in, tighten everything up, recenter the horizon, reset the angle that I want, and then continue on. If I'm by myself, I don't really care, but more often than not, I'm riding with friends or family, and it's a real pain in the ass for them to have to wait around for that 2, 3, or 4 minutes while I'm digging through my bag every so often to change batteries and all that. I'm hoping that this much more simple setup with the Hero 9 will alleviate a lot of that. One, with an increased battery life, I'll have to be stopping less often, but also it's just less to carry around. I run a Bell Super DH, and I intend more often than not to affix this to my chin guard, which I ride with going downhill 90% of the time now. Anyway, after a few falls, I figure if I have a helmet that has a removable chin guard, I might as well wear it. But really in the end, the proof will lie in the quality of the video and the audio. So let's get these two setups out on the trails, see which one wins, and see which one I'm going to be using for island bike life going forward. Okay, well, we're out of the shop and we're up here at Dumont. I've done a few different testing runs on Monkeys in the Mist, one of my favorite trails up here. It's got some good speed, some turns, some rocky stuff, a little bit of drops, pretty small jumps, but enough to put the Hero 4 and my gimbal through some testing, as well as the Hero 7 in the past, which in the end I decided wasn't a big enough improvement to warrant going away from my previous setup. So we'll see how the 9 does, specifically with the audio, just on the voice. Even the 7 was a little bit muffled, so I'm interested to see how the 9 compares to that. I do have on the top and front microphones wind guards, similar to this one on the old setup, to cut down on some of that wind noise. The automatic wind reduction on the GoPro software, or hardware I should say, is not great. It muffles things, makes it sound like shit. So I try to not use that whenever I can. So for the first run, I'm probably going to do a straight down, no stopping. Both cameras are going to be set to the same thing. It's going to be 4K Super View at 24 frames per second. All of the settings are the same internally in the Pro Tune, as well as the audio, to give it a fair comparison, one to the other. And yeah, I'm interested to see how it goes. Let's get to it. Okay, so here we go. Got the Hero 9 black
on my chin guard. Got the angle set so it should be fairly similar to what the Hero 4 is. There is a potential you're going to see the Hero 4 gimbal setup in the lower part of the screen, just because the gimbal is on a chest mount. So we'll see how this goes. Monkeys in the mist.
Definitely one thing I'm curious about is voice talking while riding. On the Hero 4, it's normally very clear, no problem at all. Not that I chat a lot when I'm riding, but definitely from time to time. Bad line there. Definitely interested to see how the chin mount goes. When I tested it before, it seemed to be pretty good. It's a pretty rocky section. That should be a good comparison. See how the 9 does. Nice thing about this trail too is it's a good test for the camera's exposure. It goes from light to dark. Somewhere around here I'll probably edit in some color correction. There we go. This trail home run is a pretty classic finisher. Get some good speed to test the wind cancellation with the mufflers on the Hero 9, see how that sounds.
Oh, hey there. Ever since COVID hit in the spring, these trails have been so busy, not just with mountain bikers, but with hikers. It's really great to see people getting out in nature. All right. Well, let's get back to the shop and take a look at this video and see what kind of comparisons and decisions and ideas can be had on if this is going to work or what can be done to make it better.
Well, there you have it. Brand new GoPro Hero 9 Black. The new workhorse of island bike life, hands down. I am a little bit sad to see my tried and tested gimbal and Hero 4 go out the door, but for what this offers me versus what I'm giving up with that setup, it really for me is a no-brainer. I'm really satisfied and happy with this camera. I'm really looking forward to digging into it and testing out a few different video settings, seeing if I can dial it in just that much more to bring you guys and gals the best videos that I can put out. I really hope you like this video. Keep checking in for an updated, more long-term review on the Hero 9 Black as I get some more time on it. Stay tuned for more point of view mountain bike videos from here in the Pacific Northwest, as well as new product and bike reviews as the year continues on. Thanks again for watching. Now let's go hit the trails.